Welcome, trainers, to the Frankfurt Regional Championships. I am so sorry we've had a few delays on round one with some technical issues. We will let you know everything that went on, but I'm Lucromi. I've got Rob next to me.
Hi, guys.
Jumping into game 2 here, round 1, with Eduardo versus Cyprien, and Eduardo took game 1.
Yeah, and this was actually kind of an interesting set as well, because in the beginning we had a game freeze really early, but now we're actually going into game 2 here. And we see a Crobat Xerneas lead from Edu, and we see a Kyogre Lurantis lead from
Cyprien.
from Cyprien.
But it's interesting, actually. In game 1, Eduardo led the same pair, whereas Cyprien had the Murkrow out instead of the Lurantis. And very cleverly, on Eduardo's side, he kept the Xerneas in. The taunt actually went into the Crobat that switched out into Groudon. So I wonder, with Cyprien's changing up here with the Lurantis, if he's going to maybe start trying to get some of these moves off to like start boosting up his attack stat. But I think if you're the Xerneas here, you've potentially got quite a free Geomancy.
If we're looking at game 1 at how Edu played, I think he switched in his Groudon to take a Water Spout and to make the Xerneas take not a lot of damage at all, being able to set up a Geomancy afterwards. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of the play that he wants to go for here as well. Because Groudon can actually take Water Spout, and we saw from game 1 that it's actually a Berry Groudon, and I think we're going to see the switch now.
Yeah, exactly what happened in game 1. That Crobat retreats to Eduardo, and the Groudon jumps out. So going to get the weather up on his side. I think throughout this tournament, Rob, we're going to see a lot of rain, a lot of sun, and a lot of this going on. But at the minute, it's sun on the field, as Kyogre does go for an Ice Beam, so not going to have his Water-type attacks negated. And obviously, as Groudon is only Ground-type in this format, it's going to be taking a lot of damage from that Ice Beam. But Xerneas here going to go for that Geomancy. Again, a move I think we're going to see so much. It's one of the most beautiful animations as well, and it gives Xerneas those illustrious boosts that it needs, boosting its special attack, special defense, and its speed, making it such a powerhouse and threat on the team. So Cyprien's really going to have to think about how he's going to deal with this going forward. The Lurantis, though, does go for superpower. Going into that Xerneas, not going to be super effective damage, but will get those boosts in the attack and the defense thanks to its ability.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's what you want to go for if you're Cyprien. Sure, you get the boost, but the superpower is not going to do a lot of damage to the Xerneas at all. And maybe something like an Origin Pulse and a Leaf Blade would have done a lot more damage. And I think now Edu is just in a really good position. I think a Moonblast at +2 should be able to one-shot the Lurantis. And this Kyogre in the sun is not threatening a lot of damage at all. The Groudon still has to be careful though, because it is at 50% health. And another Ice Beam could pick it up. But this Xerneas, it took barely any damage and it boosted up completely. And if I look at what Cyprien has in the back, he doesn't really have Pokemon that can resist fairy attacks at all.
No, he certainly doesn't. I mean, he does have the Quillfish out there with the poison type.
But it doesn't have the best bulk at all.
It certainly doesn't. Not when you're facing down a boosted Xerneas. But a few defensive plays coming out here from that Lurantis as well, as Moonblast from Xerneas does target down, so a good little protect there. As Kyogre does stay on the field, goes for the Ice Beam once again, but Eduardo protecting up his Groudon. So interesting to see the combinations coming out here.
Yeah, I think a safe play by Eduardo there. This Xerneas is not threatened at all by this Kyogre, but a Lurantis at +1 with the Leaf Blade could do a lot of damage to it. So it makes sense to focus that down with the Moonblast. And just protecting the Groudon there from an Ice Beam. I'm assuming that Eduardo is now going to switch out this Groudon to something that can maybe support the Xerneas, like a Kartana or Incineroar maybe. And if you're Cyprien, I'm still not sure. You don't really want to switch anything in to that Moonblast at +2 at all. I think even a Quillfish is not going to be able to take that. Murkrow is not going to take that. Palkia is not going to take that. And the Raichu might be taken down to its potential Sash. So if you're Cyprien, you're really going to struggle at this point.
Exactly, getting that Xerneas up puts Eduardo in such an offensive position. And as well, we haven't had a lot of item reveals yet, whereas sort of in the dark as you are watching this game, so it'd be interesting to see what items they have. The Kyogre staying in once again, though, doesn't want to switch out and reset that weather, as Xerneas is able to pick up the KO against that Lurantis with a powerful Moonblast. Kyogre once again sticking to Ice Beam. I'm suspicious this could be a Choice Scarf variant, particularly as it's sticking to this move. I know the sun's up, but it's one of the most dominant items on Kyogre at the moment in the format. But with Kartana on the field as well, you know, Kartana's going to threaten it with a Leaf Blade. I think Eduardo's in a really good position here.
Oh, and Murkrow is one of the Pokemon in the back for Cyprien. Yeah, that's really tough for him. And even with the Ice Beam, there's not even an out in terms of freezing this Xerneas.
Because the sun's shining.
Because the sun is up. So Cyprien is really struggling here. And Murkrow does offer some options in terms of Tailwind, in terms of Quash. But this Kyogre just doesn't have the damage output at all. So I think Edu is pretty safe to just go for a Dazzling Gleam and a Leaf Blade. Yeah, and the Cyprien is at this point in a really tough position. And I think he just didn't respect the Xerneas enough.
He didn't. He needed something straight away to maybe get rid of it. The Murkrow in game 1 where he could have taunted it potentially, that would have been a really good strategy to go for, but didn't bring it this time.
Oh, yeah, the haze.
Oh, haze. Okay, this Murkrow is full of surprises, goes for the haze, and actually will negate all of those stat changes as the Xerneas does go for Dazzling Gleam. So still doing super effective damage.
Oh, wow.
Actually picks up the KO against that Palkia with a
critical
hit. Unfortunately, haze is not going to stop those from going off. So Palkia leaves the field as quickly as it joined, as Murkrow is going to be forced to take this Leaf Blade in the red thanks to the super effective Dazzling Gleam. Even without the boost, the power of that Xerneas was so strong, and now Kartana's going to get a Beast Boost next to it.
Yeah, and I think that's the end for Cyprien there. He now has a Scarf Kyogre, but Edu still has the option to just switch the Groudon, bring up the Sun again. And I don't think Cyprien has anything that he can do against that. The crit is kind of unfortunate, but the way Edu played that turn, I assume he doubled the Palkia slot there with the Leaf Blade and the Dazzling Gleam. So I think even if it didn't crit, it would have picked up the KO. And I don't think Murkrow could have done a lot in this matchup either way, even if it lived that combination. So now Cyprien is just in a really tough position now.
Well, Eduardo's going to bring his Xerneas back, just doesn't want to take any damage, and I think you were right there, Rob. Getting the Sun back up really does shut down this Kyogre. The water attacks are going to be negated in damage, and Ice Beam with the Sun up doesn't even have the freeze potential. It is going to be the Water Spout going off, though. The Choice Scarf on that Pokemon will be enough to pick up the KO on the Groudon, but this Kartana, particularly with the Beast Boost, is just going to cleanly be able to pick this up. A Leaf Blade, so strong still in this format. We've seen Kartana pretty much since it came into the game be so strong in VGC, and here, round 1, Eduardo will take it.
Yeah, in a very quick and demanding way, Eduardo there. Really well played by him. And yeah, Cyprien, I think, he had the right idea, but he didn't respect at all the Groudon and Xerneas combination, which I think you really need to do in this kind of regional. It's probably still the most popular core, even in 2019, coming from 2016. And he just didn't respect it at all.
It's so strong, particularly if you get that boost up and you get Groudon in its dominant weather as well. It can be so strong and powerful. And we will be able to grab an interview with Eduardo very, very soon. But before we do, we just want to say hello once again. It's Rob and myself and little Jolteon. We're here for the Frankfurt Regional Championships, and we do apologize that you missed game 1 of that set. Unfortunately, we were literally about to click live. Everything was set up, players seated, and the internet completely cut out. And of course, we can't have a stream without the internet.
No, so that was really unfortunate. So I hope you still got a little bit of information from that match. We didn't get to show a lot at all, unfortunately. But from now on, I hope it's going to be smooth sailing from here. It should be okay. Things should be fixed. And we still got a lot more rounds to come here. It's a really big regional. We're still waiting for confirmation in terms of how big it is exactly.
Yeah, we should have that by round 2, sort of how many numbers and how many rounds, and we will, of course, bring you all that information. But I think we're going to try and grab Eduardo now, and then we will try and get into round 2 a little bit earlier so we can talk you through some of the exciting things happening on the stream. We've got a few giveaways. We're going to try and run some fun, interactive things on Twitter just to get you guys at home more involved with the regional here. So don't go anywhere. We're going to grab Eduardo, and we're going to sort of catch you up on that set.
Okay, welcome back, Pokemon trainers. I am here with the winner of round 1, Eduardo Cunha. How are you feeling right now, Edu?
Well, I wasn't feeling confident at all going into the tournament. I barely got any practice. I'm confident in like the Pokemon that I brought, but at the same time, I didn't really practice much with them. But you know, having a very convincing game to win was definitely made me feel way more confident on the team. I don't know, like my opponent was actually on his first tournament. So you know, it wasn't like it was a good warm up.
Yeah,
and he played well. He definitely knew what he was doing. He's just
for your first tournament, it was you can see that he knew what he was doing. But I think if you're in your first tournament, one of the first mistakes you probably make is maybe underestimate Xerneas. And I think that definitely was the case. What he kind of maybe made the mistake there. Yeah,
definitely. I was very afraid of like. The Idle Pump in Rain from like a timid Specs Palkia, which it was Specs. I just it wasn't timid, so that made things easier for me. But at the same time, like I was really afraid of it. That's why I like game 1. You guys didn't get to see it, but like it was like I was really afraid. I didn't go for the Xerneas setup right away, but in that same game I found out that my Xerneas was actually faster, so it allowed me to feel more confident going to game 2 with the Xerneas mode.
Yeah, so talking about your team, it is kind of like the standard kind of Groudon Xerneas team that you would usually see. I think if I had to pick one mon that kind of stands out, I think it's a Crobat a little bit. Kind of a throwback to 2016 there.
Yeah, definitely. I think Crobat is really good right now, especially because when I was testing Crobat a lot in 2016, the main problem was dealing with opposing Mega Salamence, which is not a thing now.
No.
Since they could match Tailwinds, they could intimidate the partner, and it was really tough to they usually were faster than my partner, so it was really tough to really manage myself against Salamence. But now that Mega Salamence is not a thing, I feel like Crobat's much easier to deal with. Primal Groudon is also not a thing, and the Groudon itself doesn't do much damage unless gravity is up. And I feel like it's a really solid pick against Groudon, against Xerneas Miracle stuff.
Yeah.
And it's also a ground immunity, which is something I was really looking for when on team building. And it's mainly for speed control and dealing with opposing Xerneas, but it also helps overwhelming some teams that aren't ready for it.
Yeah.
And I like it as a Pokemon. I think it has a really solid place right now.
Yeah, I see it always as kind of sort of the anti-meme Pokemon.
Yeah.
With
exactly.
that inner focus ability, with that speed as well, getting Taunt, getting Haze. You have a lot of different support options to make sure you don't get kind of cheesed out in a way.
Exactly.
So I definitely like that. Definitely good option there. So that's a kind of good start for you then.
Yeah, definitely.
You're aiming for top cut, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. I want a top cut, but at the same time, I feel like I didn't have enough practice to actually make it. So I don't know. I'm just trying to enjoy the event.
Yeah.
See how things go.
Okay, man. Well, good luck for the rest of the
tournament.
Thank
you very much. Good luck to you guys.
Maybe we'll see you later then again.
Yeah. All right.
All right.